Welcome to another edition of Hires Talks. I'm your host, Adam Hires. Mortgage loan officers double their income while reducing their hours. Man, we got some good stuff in store for today. The topic of the day is don't do videos. Woo, what are we going to talk about today? Don't do videos. Everybody's telling you to do videos. Why I'm going to tell you not to do videos. And while I'm doing a video, you may want to tune in and see what's going on. And if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, thank you so much. Go to my Hires Coaching YouTube and you can see this video as we're going to talk about why you don't do videos. You don't need to do videos. Don't do videos. All right, so we're going to dive in pretty quickly at this because there ain't no sports going on. I'm sick and tired of that. It's a horrible time. But one thing I want to share with you all, is that continue to watch my hires lifting going on, transformation, trying to transform my body, transform my energy, and be a better coach, a better leader. Going back to my powerlifting days, I've already been in decent shape, but I'm trying to get in a lot better shape again and push it where I haven't pushed it in years. That's one. Number two, mortgage loan officers, you all tune in because I am going to share specific mortgage tips and coaching on, looks like we're probably going to put another podcast together just specifically for you. We may drop one in here on this podcast on Hires Talks, and it's going to be specifically for you, but we're going to create another podcast, it looks like, for just mortgage loan officers to help you grow your business to great levels. Remember, you can go to hirescoaching.com and download my free playbook, Business Transformation Playbook. It's something to ask yourself the right questions to grow. If you're just a business professional, it will help you grow. You can definitely call me and we'll go over some of that. You mortgage loan officers, listen, I've got that you can download, but don't think that's all there is to it. I have a ton of more material coming out and a playbook that's going to be super thick and super awesome. That's going to uncover your downfalls, where you can just start elevating your life, exactly that, elevating your life. So that's the thing with loan officers and you out there, business professionals. Somewhere along the lines, you felt like, hey, listen, if I'm going to make the income I want, like I got to sacrifice everything, and that ain't true. You can have it both. So as I'm coaching my clients, they're even repeating it back to me, which I love, and they end up getting that mindset of, listen, I'm not going to sacrifice everything to make the income I want to make. That doesn't mean you're not working hard. That doesn't mean you're you're giving up on the goals you want. It's quite the opposite. So if you do the right things, you have the right mindsets, and you get away from scarcity mindsets, etc., you can have both. You can have the life you want, make the income you want. It's not one or the other. It's both. So let me help you with that, but keep listening to podcasts and we'll uncover some things. So listen, don't do videos. What the heck is he talking about? So I went to this event, Zillow Killer, his name is James Rempert. It was a good session. He came in, talked to real estate agents. We brought him in, and he had this big, presentation. And he was like, "Hey, do videos. You got to do videos. You got to do videos. You got to do videos." And telling all these real estate agents they got to do videos. And we'll get into why I don't necessarily think that's the correct, way to go about things. So you're out there and you're saying, hey, listen, video is the future. You're doing video. Why are you doing video? And I can't do video. So here's the thing. As he's talking to people and they're saying, like he's asking them, hey, you're going to do a video? And they're like, I think I am. And they're all scared and they're about to pee their pants because they're thinking about even doing a video because public speaking is one of the most, scariest things in the world. People would rather jump out of an airplane, a perfectly good airplane, and get on stage and talk, or get behind a cell and go ahead and record a video. They're scared to death of it. Why? There's a lot of reasons why people are scared to do a video. Obviously I'm cool with it. I just keep going. I don't care. There's a lot of haterade out there, and people, I already know that somebody probably is going to hate what I say and hate my face, but they're just going to keep on watching because they just want to hate some more. Cool, great. That's the worst thing in the world that can happen, right? Really, in the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen is somebody hates watching you and they continue to hate you more by watching you. Cool, great. That's the worst thing that can happen. But you see people that they're scared to death of it, and it's cool. I don't want you to feel like you're less of a person if you're scared to do that. Like, you're cool. It's good. That's fine. Like, you're not broken. You have that. Everybody has fears. Everybody has fears that they're going to struggle with. So don't feel like you're inferior because you can't do these videos. But as he's going through there, he's telling people to do videos, and they're like, "You're going to commit to doing videos?" Yeah. And it's a wave of the future, and you can't do any business without doing videos, which is untrue. That's number one. That's untrue, that you can't do business without doing videos. Listen, you could pick up this little thing called a telephone. It's about this big, and put it to your ear and dial that thing, and magic happens, okay? And you can get a lot of business and grow and all that stuff without doing videos. But why, Adam, are you doing videos? Because I do think it's important, but we'll go into that later. So people will oftentimes, like I said, they will all of a sudden, everybody's telling them to do videos, and then they go do videos. Have you ever watched that mess? It looks horrible. Okay? Why does it look horrible? Because they're like, well, somebody told me to do videos, and I have to do videos, so I'm doing videos. That's number one why you don't do videos. You don't do videos because somebody tells you to do it, because that's the only way you can grow your business. Because what happens? It bleeds through on the video. Like, you have nothing to talk about, really. You have no real value to add, and you're just getting on there because somebody told you you have to do it. And so that's the same thing with podcasts. Hey, I was actually talking to 42 Lines Creative that's here. And it was like one of the first episodes I did, and we're having this discussion, and they're like, people do, it's like, well, they don't want to do anything outside of their comfort zone on these podcasts, and they're just doing podcasts. Why? Because somebody told them they need to do a podcast, so they're doing a podcast. That's the only reason they're doing it, because somebody told them they need to do a podcast. Well, let me tell you something. If the only reason you're doing a video or a podcast is because somebody told you to do it, and now you're going out and doing it, like, don't do them. Here's the issue. Huge issue. You go out there, you do a video, it looks horrific, it looks bad, okay, because you don't have any kind of real passion behind it, okay? There's no passion behind it. You don't set it up. You feel forced. Everything's just forced, okay? It doesn't look good. And then you do it, and you try to do it for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then you just quit. Well, how much time, how much energy did you have during that, say, 4 weeks to do those videos? Think about that. We talk about money. Time is worth money. Energy is worth money. Energy is definitely worth money. So you're out there for 4 weeks. You do videos. Nothing happens. You felt awful the whole time, and then you go back to nothing. Guess what you did? You just wasted 4 weeks. You wasted 4 weeks of angst, of all this stuff, to do videos that you just felt forced to do, and you quit, and then you just didn't make any money off it. You didn't do anything of real relevance. And so you could have taken that time, that 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, whatever it was, and poured it into picking up the phone and calling somebody, making real impact. That would have helped you. So think about that. Like, when you're going out there and it feels force-fed, and that's all you're doing it because somebody told you to do it. Like, we talk about it, the no choice, right? No choice. Here's what I can tell you, is that there is a ton of shiny objects. you can go to different companies and they're like, oh man, we got all this, we can do this, we can do this. And you, or hey, this marketing firm calls you, we can do this and this. And, or you talk to 10 other loan officers or 10 other people in your field. And it's like, I do this and I do this and I do this and I do this. And then all you're looking for is like the extras that they do. And then all of a sudden you're like, you have like 42 things that you're like, okay, I need to do all this to be successful. And all of a sudden you don't do anything worth a crap. Like it all sucks. It's all bad material. It's all forced. Nothing is authentic. Nothing is where you're going to dive deep into it. And so if you're not good on video and you don't feel like that's, what you need to do, find something that you're really good at and dive in. Like there's so many times, if you ever talk to some of these, and I talk to high producing, the top loan officers out there, the top real estate agents out there, top entrepreneurs, I talk to my coach, etc. And all of them have they're like, you can ask them some different things. They're like, no, I don't do that. And it's like, do I think that they're not doing it at a high level because they don't do that and somebody else does? Absolutely not. That's where you cannot have all these choices going into the day going, okay, what do I want to do? How do I want to act, right? Like find the things that you are passionate about. That's the big thing, right? You have to be passionate about what you do. You have to be authentic about what you're saying. I'm very authentic of what I'm saying. This is real life. This is real material that I'm telling you that I've seen, that I've coached against, that I will not do, because there's so many things that other people do, other coaches will do that I don't do. And it's like, cool. Like, do you do lead systems? I'm like, no, I don't do lead systems. Cool. If you want to do them, that's great. I don't do them. I don't do them. That's not, well, that's, I don't particularly like them. I don't think that's a good way to get business, etc. There's all these shiny objects I could be doing too. And you're like, well, this loan officer does it and that's cool. Let them do that. I don't do it. I know what I'm good at. And that doesn't mean I'm not in a growth mindset always, right? I got on my shirt, growth. But I have to pick and choose what I have passion about. When I see something come across my desk of something that can be done, and I can feel that passion behind it, I can feel like I would be authentic with it, and I can stick to it consistently, always, then I will do it, and I will dive in head first, man. Anybody has ever met me, I will go through a freaking wall. That's why I'm a high 1% producer in my fields, is because I will run through a freaking wall, and I will go the lengths when I have authenticity, when I have the passion behind it, and I know it's going to work, or I think at the time it's going to work. Doesn't always work, but I'm like, okay, that's something I can get behind. So videos, so right now, if you're doing videos half-heartedly, you don't have a real objective, all that stuff, you would need to highly consider not doing them. Now, we will go into two reasons here in a minute of why you should do them. And some of this you may think, well, you're contradicting yourself, but I am not contradicting myself. So you just tune in and we'll talk about that. But think about it off the bat. Are you authentic? And this goes across lines. So this doesn't have to be videos. This could be the podcast. This could be, email marketing. This could be anything and everything. If you're not all the way behind it, you're not authentic behind it, you're not, you don't feel the passion behind it, you don't think you could stick to it consistently for a year, then don't do it. Okay? Just don't do it. Don't do it. Now, you may revert and say, okay, that didn't work, and you can find that database, that data out before a time period. That's cool. But you need to go into it with that thought process. So there's two reasons why I think you should do video. Number one is going to feel like it's contradicting what I said. So if you're not good on video, you're not really all the way behind video, and you go and do video, it can be a good thing. What? You said don't do it. I believe in pushing the fear back, right? If you go into it and you're not good on video and you don't know that you're going to stick to it for a year, you don't know if you're going to stick to it and be good at it, and you don't know that you're all the way all this passion behind it. You may be able to use it for fear, right? To push back the fear because, listen, I'm not going to let that conquer me any longer. I don't necessarily think that this is what I'm going to continue doing and I'm going to do it long term, but can I push into it and do it and do it for a few weeks and go ahead and push that back? So I said before, hey, you're wasting 4 weeks. It can be a waste. It can, absolutely. But can it be a very, very beneficial thing if you go in it with the mindset? It's all what you go in the mindset with. You see how we reverse that? There's 2 different ways. You go into it, you're half-hearted with it. You don't care. You like just somebody told you to do it. You do it, and really, you almost didn't really look at it as conquering a fear. Then really you never did conquer the fear a lot of times because you didn't contextualize it and really know that that's what you're going in to do. And so we don't have that objective. You don't really conquer it, right? Like that's the thing. You may somewhat conquer it, but you didn't really go into it like, hey, listen, man, I'm conquering this fear. Like this will no longer hold me back. Like I'll be damned if this is going to hold me back any longer. I may not be the best on video. I may never do video long term, but dang it, this is going to be something that will not conquer me because I'm going to use this. So where if I need to do a public speaking, I'm going to be okay with it and I'm not going to be debilitated by it. I'm going to push back the fear. So that's the number one reason, like go ahead and do it if that is your objective. If it's not, you don't feel comfortable with it, you don't like it, all this other stuff, you're not behind it, authentic, don't do it. Number 2 is you are committed 100% to doing it long term. Now, as success goes, it's gradual then sudden. Gradual then sudden. The thing that people just continually, you can say this and I'll say this and I'll be saying it to you and you will not take this advice. You won't heed it. You will just, oh, okay, whatever. I've heard that before. No, I want you to stop in your tracks today, right now, write it down. Gradual, then sudden. That is how progression is in anything. You don't see the results. 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 You kind of see the results. You kind of see, oh my God. Boom. That is how all success stories are. All success stories. Have you ever talked? This overnight sensation is bull crap, right? Like it's a tabloid. It's not correct. It's you're just struggling. It's that curve. It's like okay, I'm kind of seeing something. Boom, right? But you never wait for it. You don't do it. If you're going to do videos, if you're going to do a podcast, like people are not just going to be like overnight, like, oh my God, you're doing a podcast. I want to hear what you have to say. Everybody in the world is going to come. That's just not going to happen, right? It's continuously doing what you're supposed to do, continuously putting out your material, doing your videos out there. If you're a real estate agent and you're showing houses or you're adding real value out there, you're doing, videos that are really good, like I see it all the time. People start it and then before they can hit that huge lift, they just give up and then people tune out and then you try to do it again after a while and people are just not really in tune as much. And people really, if they're following you, they respect the all fire get out of you being consistent and doing it. Like this, they watch. And so you are making more of an impact if you have impactful information and if you're authentic and you're driven to do what you do. If you're out there all the time doing the video, I have went and like don't get any likes on stuff, whatever, nobody says anything, and all of a sudden I'm getting reached out and somebody's like, hey, about my coaching, or man, oh my God, like you're inspiring me. Right? Just out of the blue, this happens. Never got a comment from them ever, never got a like from them, nothing. Happens all the time. People are watching. It's gradual and sudden. You have to wait for it. You can't just go, okay, you have to commit and say, listen, if I'm going to do videos out there, if you're trying to grow your business, it has to be impactful. It has to be something that will help others. It can't be all self, right? Like I hope that it comes and resonates across when I am actually talking on this podcast and teaching. Like it's not all about me, okay? Like yes, I have some talks about how I help people grow their business. But really, it's all this good, hopefully free information that you can take and grow and take it and just be a better person. It is to impact and add value, massive value. And I hope that when I add massive value, that there's going to, not hope, I know when I add massive value and keep adding value and keep adding value and keep consistently doing it, people notice, people will hire me for their services because I have a lot more to offer than just this podcast, but I'm giving and giving and giving. And all the people that are out there giving and giving abundantly, it comes back. So you have to give abundantly, and you have to give often, you have to give consistently, and really just keep going. And you can't wait and go, oh man, I ain't getting likes. I'm just going to give up. Like, just go with the fact that knowing, listen, I don't know how many people are affecting me. I'm sure I am. I've got to just stick with it and go. That's the reason why you do anything. And so don't think that you're just, if it was that, really, if it was that easy, everybody would do it, right? It's an old adage. If everybody thought, well, I'm just going to do a couple videos, and all of a sudden, oh my God, you're doing videos. Well, let me just give you a whole bunch of money. What do we think's going to happen? Do we really think that's how the world works? But that's how you're acting. That's how you're acting. Right? And so what happens is sometimes when you first put something out, people notice or people like on it more. And then as you keep going, it goes down for a second because people are like at the newness. But then all of a sudden, like after a while, people start going back again and people start coming back and other people start listening and taking notice. And all of a sudden, boom, there you go. So that's how you have to know that it's not one of those things where you can't be around waiting for the likes. You can't be waiting for that big, huge result. You just got to do it and always understand, like, I have to continue to add value. Like if you're just being a commodity, and there's a huge thing I can go on and I'll have a podcast, commodity versus value. Like if you're just a commodity and going, hey, listen, I'm selling this house. This is on 123 Smith Street. It's like, okay, cool. That's good. I'm not saying it doesn't have any effect, but really is that like really impactful for, helping anybody? Is that really adding huge value to anybody's life? Or you're saying, hey, I'm selling this product and that's all you're saying, like, but you're not adding a story. You're not doing anything other than that. Are you commodity or value? So you have to understand, give abundantly, give often, give always, and just consistently stay with it. Okay. So listen, go out there, do videos. If those two things are in place. Now there may be other ones, but those are the two main things that I can 100% say that's the reason you should do them. You're gonna get over a fear, or that, listen, I am consistently going to give back in value all the time, early, often, always, and it's just I have committed to staying with it long term, regardless of results. Results are not always seen until a lot later. You don't know the results until later. So wait for the results, but you have to keep sticking it out to see the results. So anyway, go and download my free 12-week transformation planner. Get with me at adam@hirescoaching.com. You will have any questions, 859-302-2641. We'll have a good conversation. Let's blow up your business. Listen, if you're a mortgage loan officer, you're out there, you're tired of doing 5 loans a month, 10 loans a month, even if you're doing 20 loans a month now, but you don't have any time for your family or anything else, and you're sucked in. Listen, I have loan officers doing 20 loans a month and having the 40 hours less work week. I currently am going to do, I think, 35 loans this month while doing hires coaching, and so I'm about 20 hours a week doing the mortgages side. So not bad gig, right? So let's show you how to grow your business and to do it the right way. And so you have both. You have a life of impact and growth and legacy, and you're not stuck behind a desk and stuck behind all the things that hold you back from living the best life and just saying, hey, listen, I'm just waiting for the treasure at the end, and but I'm not going to live my life. Let's do both. Let's do it simultaneously, and let's do it before you end your career and live in your life. That's all I got. Go out there and crush it. Remember, no choice, growth, legacy, impact.